What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to episode 9 of Hit the Books, the podcast here for everything sports, especially the NFL, which we are all about this week. Week 7 is here, and this week we got a whole lineup of games in action waiting to digest. This week, the Bills, Rams, Vikings, and Eagles have bye weeks, so we will see no action from them. We still got 14 other games waiting for us, so let's jump in, but not without introducing my co-hosts, Huff, Ace, and Mackie. Huff, let's go first. How's it going this week? Maybe give us a little rundown, a little recap on the weekly records. What are you thinking, buddy?
Yo, what's going on, everyone? Happy to be back. Just to get right to it, had a really good weekend on the card, 4-1. Personally, I was looking to go 5-0 with the Sunday night play with that under. Unfortunately, didn't go my way. Cooper Rush decided to throw a couple ducks and go for it on fourth and inches. I think it was on their own 30-yard line, but win some, you lose some. But 4-1 weekend, can't complain about it. But Jesse, you were sitting right there with me at 4-1. So we both had pretty good weekends there.
Can't complain. All good stuff there. Mackie, you're up next. What do you got for me, man? What's happening?
Yeah, second week in a row, kind of shit the bed on the card, but still positive units. Can't really complain about being positive units. I'll be back at it this week. Guarantee some positive units this week. So just get back in the swing of things and get it going.
The 3-unit, that's a make or break. I mean, you knew that.
I was feeling frisky with it, and I really thought it was going to be more of a high scoring game. It kind of only didn't get. It only got high scoring later in the game, but he had his chance. He dropped it. Whatever. You win some, you lose some.
I'll be honest. I was trying very hard to try to figure out a way to fit that in my intro. Couldn't figure out a good way to fit your 3-unit play loss in there.
I'll be back with another one. Don't worry.
I'm ready for it. It was the first 3-unit play in Hit the Books history and recorded as a loss. No good. Ace, you're up next, buddy. What do you got for me?
Well, looking at my record for the year, might be getting one of those 3-unit plays, so probably going to follow the Mackie trend in one of these coming weeks. But 4-6 week for me, just under a half a unit negative on the week, so basically even on the week there. Not really seeing any movement. After a good previous week, followed up with the so-so one, so we did well in the prime time, not really on the 4 o'clock slate, really killed me there with that low-scoring Buffalo-Kansas City game. It was actually not as much as everybody thought it was going to be there. But yeah, hit some nice Thursday and Monday primetime hits. I think I went 2 for 2 in the Thursday and Monday games. So got to build off that. Going to start with this Thursday here. Got a big week of football. My Patriots securing another dub under Bailey Zapp. Gotta shout them out. So I think the boys are all going to be positive units this week. I'm ready to roll. Get the full 4-0 on the card for us.
Lots of good stuff from all the boys across the board. Very excited for this week. Week 7 of the NFL. But first, let's jump into a little MLB. As we're recording here, we have the Phillies and the Padres playing. No picks from us tonight. We didn't have any picks tonight, right?
No. Well, we don't know yet.
As of recording, we have no picks.
We're trash can.
But we are looking at the Yankees-Astros game here later tonight. Maybe we'll get in a pick for that. Who wants to start us off with some MLB?
Yeah, I think we should just start right off with the team that's kind of been the Cinderella story team of the whole playoff run, the Phillies. They've been kind of making their way through each series. I think been underdogs in every series that they've played. Up 1-0 on the Padres in the series right now. Right now they're up 4-3 in the 5th inning with one out. I'm hoping the Padres rally here and get some runs. But Phillies have been a team that, Mackie, we said right before we started recording, they look fucking sick. And obviously we're both saying that we both have Padres money line. I don't know if either of you guys ended up taking anything on this game, but yeah, Phillies are legit. But obviously Yankees get past the Guardians, another one. We get to see Yankees-Astros again starting tonight, like you said. So I'll probably have a pick on that one. I don't know if we're gonna end up being in agreement on a team pick or not. But Mackie, who'd you have winning that Yankees Guardians game 5 last night? You had Yankees?
Yeah, I actually took Yankees. I had them -1.5, and I had them in a parlay with the Islanders. So I cashed out big on them last night. I just didn't see that
nice.
team.
I had the Islanders too. I like that.
It was that team was set up after that game got pushed back. They were able to play Nestor, and it was just kind of over from that point. I think they they're the better team in my opinion. I think they deserve to go into the ALCS, and we got Astros, Yankees yet again. So Astros look like they have the favorite. They're the favorite right now, but you never know. This Yankees team can get hot.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you guys on that. The Yankees, so much firepower and big year. They can always take over any game they're in. But I like the Astros here. A lot of experience. I'm big on Justin Verlander and Alvarez there. He's been going off this playoff run. I'm not surprised to see them win that game, especially with Cortez pitching like Mackey alluded to. But it's funny, if you go back a few weeks when the playoffs started, we had my buddy Abik on. He dropped that trend about the Phillies winning the World Series in years of recession or approaching recession. And it looks like they could be on the cusp of that again. I was pretty high on that team at the beginning. I knew they could go on a little bit of a run. I said that from the beginning with Schwarber.
You did say that. You said when we were picking the wild card series, you go, my heart, or I forget how you said it, but you were like, my heart tells me the Cardinals, or my heart tells me the Phillies, but I want the Cardinals, or something like that.
Yeah, I knew the Cardinals weren't going to win. I wanted them to win just for the storybook.
I was going to say, me and you were in agreement on that one.
Yeah, everybody in the world loves Pujols. I'm actually a big Yachty fan as a catcher myself, playing baseball growing up, always mirroring my game after him. But I knew that Phillies team was something to be reckoned with. I don't know why they were slept on so much. Deep pitching staff, a lot of talent on offense, and they're smashing the ball in the showcase. I'm surprised you guys are still betting against them.
I'm not going to lie.
It's looking good right now.
Huff, stop telling me. I do regret.
Soto, baby.
I do regret betting against them today. I just didn't expect them to go back to Philadelphia, being up 2-0. I figured Padres
Me neither. That's
would
all
at
I
least
did.
get a game at home. I still think the Phillies win the series. I think this team is a lot better than I thought they were. I don't think anybody thought they would be the last NL East team standing with the Mets and the Braves in that division. But Phillies.
I didn't even think about that. That's crazy.
Yeah,
let's slow a roll though. Watch the Padres come back and win this game. Isn't it a one-run game?
Oh, even if they do,
they win that game, and the complexity of the whole series changes.
No, I do. Even if the Padres win this game, I still think the Phillies will win the series. That's funny. I forgot about Abik saying that in the recession era, is that Phillies are always winning it because they actually have a good chance now. I think getting to where they are now is probably their hardest part.
I thought with the talent, just the odds on them every round too. Like they've been underdogs almost every game, right?
Ace, I also agree with you saying that team is like really good, but they had a lot of ups and downs this year, and coming into the playoffs, they weren't even that hot. They actually caught fire, I would say, as the playoffs started. So yeah, I agree with you. That team is very stacked and very talented, but the whole entire
underrated.
National League is kind of, you have a lot of contenders in the National League. So
I'm a fan of the Padres too. I've enjoyed watching them.
The firepower on that team already.
Yeah. Without Tatis, though, I didn't think they'd be able to keep it going. That's why I do kind of lean Phillies still. I just thought the value on the Phillies, hit the books, right? Like all over the place with the pluses for Philadelphia. That pitching staff, and then when I think of playoff baseball, I think of star power. You have Bryce Harper, Kyle Schwarber, a guy that consistently does it,
Bryce Harper is stepping up big time in the playoffs, too.
When else would he in his career, really? You have to figure he does at some point, so might as well be now.
Yeah, true. Yeah, I like this team though. I still think the World Series will end up being an Atlantic or American League team.
AL team. Yeah, agreed. I'm on the Astros if I had to pick a World Series winner.
I think whoever
play with value.
I think the Astros win the series too, and I think they'll end up winning the World Series. But I think if the Yankees get past the Astros, they'll win it too.
Who's pitching next game for the Padres? Isn't Musgrove due up?
Musgrove will be.
I like Musgrove.
Yeah, it should be Musgrove. Musgrove pitched
next game is
5.
Musgrove. We have Musgrove, Suarez. Then we have
Clevenger.
Pitchers listed for that day. They don't have them listed yet, but
Clevenger should pitch game 4.
Was it go back around to Nola too? I like that Philly staff though. I've been a fan of them for years.
Phillies just don't have
baseball heavy.
They just don't have a deep bullpen, in my opinion.
What's his name? The guy with the weird, the crazy first name on the Phillies. He had a injury-ridden year, but my Philly boys have been talking him up. Let me check.
Alvarado is pretty steady, but he's a closer, so you only have him for the 9th.
No, they like Sir Anthony Dominguez actually.
Alvarado was
That's
last
the other guy
night.
they like too in the pen. Yeah, no. He got the hold. Dominguez.
Oh, got you.
He pitched in the 8th. Yeah, they think that him coming back with Alvarado is force to be reckoned with in that back end.
Personally, not saying this what I think is going to happen, just like my personal liking. I want to see I was telling Mackie this. I want to see a Padres Yankees World Series. I just think like the Judge versus like Soto being whatever 23 years old, the MLB would eat that shit up, and I'd love to see Soto take him down to get his second World Series before Judge even gets one, but I'm also a Yankee guy, so I don't know. That'd be a tough. I really like both of those teams, so rooting for both of them, it's kind of like, you gotta, one of them has to lose sooner or later. But it seems like this really is the Yankees' year.
That's tough with Mackie and I wearing Red Sox hats and you being from Pittsburgh. Go Yankees, he's saying. Tough.
I like the Yankees. I want the Yankees to win.
Yeah, it could go anyway. But my picks out of the AL are Astros. My pick out of the NL, I'll go Phillies.
Yeah, I'll go Phil's Yanks.
MLB playoff in full swing. Lots of good stuff to come out of that. Look for picks from us daily as those games approach. A little recap in the NHL. We're doing all right here on the season. Picks coming out for that as well. Ace, what do you got for us on that?
Yeah, we've been coming hot and heavy with those NHL picks. Just missing on a few. We should be higher units. I think we're gonna get there eventually if you've been following along. Been missing some puck lines by an empty net, and been missing some OT wins for the money line too. But we're still up, like Jesse said. We've been cashing out on the Vegas Golden Knights. They've been a wagon to start the year for us. Colorado Avalanche. If you're not all over them, then I don't know what you're doing. You're not watching hockey. It's one of the best teams in the league. We all know that with the firepower they have, and they're covering those money lines and puck lines night in and night out. So yeah, definitely stay tuned. We've been locked in, loaded. Big hockey guys here. Big winter sports team. So definitely stay attentive to our socials. That's where we'll be posting at least a couple plays a day, especially when there's no major sports on like NFL and MLB.
Hockey is known for being one of our best sports, so I know we're not up that big right now, but we'll definitely get there. I have a lot of faith in that. So if you want to stick with us in that, we're releasing at least 4 nights a week usually, so stay tuned.
Big stuff coming out of the NHL. Look for those picks daily, as the boys said. Let's move forward to some NFL, what everyone's here for. We got a lot of good stuff coming out of Week 7. I got some trends to get us going. First one's a little trend for Mackie and his boys up in New York. The Giants are 5-1, Jets 4-2 are the two most profitable teams on the money line through 6 weeks this season. A $100 bettor would be up $812 on the Giants and $603 on the Jets. The last time both New York teams combined for 9 wins through Week 6 was back in 2010. So very impressive for those New York teams, showing, real attentiveness on the field. Good stuff. As we said last week, it's a lot more fun to watch them this year compared to most. Another trend I got.
Look at Huff. Look at Huff running. He's coming for the New York teams. He loves it. I just wanted
don't hate on my New York Giants. I've been riding them this year and it's been working out. So it's same thing with the Jets. You talked shit on the Jets last week going to Green Bay.
And they grittied up in Lambeau. No, I didn't see.
They did it.
But,
Shit! Did we even pay attention? Did he gritty?
I didn't catch it. He didn't do much.
He didn't
He had
score.
110 yards.
Yeah, he didn't really do much. It was a big defensive game.
Ace, you escaped.
No,
Sauce
I
Gardner
shut
with
that
the cheese head though.
Sorry to cut off your trend there, Jesse. I just saw Huff running onto the screen, hearing about the 2 New York teams, so I had to.
I couldn't sit down fast enough to talk about the New York Football Giants.
New York football is back.
Jets, Jets.
Jets Giants Super Bowl.
Woo! And the other trend I got for Week 7 is the Atlanta Falcons are 6-0 against the spread this season, the only undefeated team against the spread in the NFL. They are the 3rd team to start 6-0 against the spread in the last decade, the other 2 teams being the 2021 Cowboys and the 2018 Kansas City Chiefs. So pretty impressive stat there. Again, against the spread, I know they've definitely had some plus spreads there against most of those teams they've played, but can't go against the Falcons. Spread's a good bet.
Yeah, I've been riding the Falcons all year, so if anyone's cashing off that, it's me.
I was going to say, Mac, you've been riding them all year, or last week I really liked them in that spot against the 49ers, and I'm glad I jumped on it.
I had them off the card money line, too, which was really profitable.
Damn, nice.
The underdogs outright this week. Jets, Giants.
Mackie, give that trend again. Give that trend again for the people that forgot or haven't listened before.
I don't know the actual record, but coming into the year it was I don't even know. I couldn't even tell you the record, but it was hitting at
it was through the first 2 weeks or 3 weeks.
It was 41-6 that teams that won the game outright covered their spread. So basically the stat,
that's crazy.
It supports, if you're gonna take an underdog, you might as well take their money line because it's more profitable, which we've seen has been a true trend in this league this year.
All right, let's jump into some of these NFL matchups. Let's start out on Thursday night. We got the New Orleans Saints at the Arizona Cardinals. The Cardinals are a favorite in this one, the spread going at -2.5. Their money line sitting at -134 and the over-under at 43.5. The trends I got for this one are the Cardinals have lost 7 straight at home since 2018 when NFC teams meet on Thursday Night Football. The home team is 10-17 against the spread. Also, since 2018, the Saints are 24-11 against the spread and 27-8 straight up on the road. They're also 9-2 against the spread and 8-3 straight up as the road underdogs since 2018. So some trends there leaning in the Saints' favor. But Mackie, what do you think? You want to get us going on this one, Thursday Night Football?
Yeah, another primetime game that most of us probably don't really want to watch. I know I'm not really psyched to watch this game, but it's primetime, so you're going to bet on it. This is a game that I could see going under. I could see Arizona playing a slower game. We know New Orleans is not the fastest-paced team. We know they're more of an under team. They don't really score a lot of points. They have a pretty steady defense. So in a primetime game, I see this being a slower game, and I see it going under. If I was to pick a winner in this game, I like the home team. I think they get it done at home. I know they've been shaky in Arizona. I don't even think they have a win on the season in Arizona, but this is a spot where I see Kyler Murray doing just enough to get by a pretty injured New Orleans Saints team.
Yeah, I agree with you heavy, actually, Mackie. I think I said this 2 weeks ago, faded myself last week maybe, just because I'm not a firm believer in the Seahawks. But it's time. You can start betting on the Arizona Cardinals again. DeAndre Hopkins is back, one of the best receivers in the league. That'll open up so much more on the offense there. It'll help things a lot. If James Conner can get activated this week, it's another plus. They just added Robbie Anderson. I know Marquise Brown's out. I'm not too high on him anyways. I think anybody else can catch a little bubble screen or a 10-yard pass, but DeAndre Hopkins is a difference maker, and he provides the one thing that the Cardinals have been lacking, the ability to get in the end zone. So I think Kyler Murray turns it around at home with his boy. I like betting with the streak, so this is going to be scary to say, but the Cardinals have lost 8 home games in a row. Scary stat, but I think getting D-Hop back at home, and that Saints team, they're in so much turmoil right now, they won't even name their starter at quarterback. It's between Jameis Winston and Andy Dalton. That's like a picking between 2 twos and a deck of cards, but I mean, you don't want either of those. They're banged up with injuries at receiver. Kamara hasn't looked like himself all year. 2 points is a very nice line to get, especially at home on Thursday Night Football. I think the Cardinals turn around. I'm a firm believer in this team with DeAndre Hopkins, and they got Robbie A now. Huff, let me hear what you think.
Yeah, I'm right there with you guys. I like the Cardinals in this spot. I think they get the job done. Like Mackie said, a very injured Saints team. I'll take the Cardinals at home on primetime.
I'm so excited to watch D-Hop play football. That's one of my favorite duos, Kyler and D-Hop.
I was one of those people that got to move him to a starting spot this week in fantasy, but
I did
too.
it in 3 leagues.
I have so many good receivers on my team that I have with D-Hop. Like it's on the team I have D-Hop on is my receivers are Cooper Kupp, AJ Brown, Devontae Adams, and DeAndre Hopkins. So now I'm like, I got to pick
Is there
one of
anybody
those
else in the
four to
league?
sit every week. Yeah, dude, believe me, I don't know how these. I had no running backs. My running backs. Well, now I can brag about my running backs. Late, I went with Chubb and Cordero Patterson, who obviously ended up working out, but Patterson's hurt. Chubb's been a stud, but yeah, I'm 5-1.
Yeah, you'll get carried by those guys. They're target hogs.
Where'd Mackie go?
Lots of good stuff out of Thursday night football. The Saints and the Cardinals. Very excited for that one. Let's start our Sunday off right, 1 p.m. with the Detroit Lions at the Dallas Cowboys. The Dallas Cowboys are favored for you, Mackie, at -7 and even 7 here on FanDuel. Their money line at -310 and the over/under at 48.5. The trends I got for this one are the Lions are 10-3 against the spread in their last 13 conference games. The Lions are also 9-3 against the spread in their last 12 games when playing as the underdog. And the Cowboys are 16-5 against the spread in their last 21 conference games. So trends there supporting both teams. But what do we got here, Mackie? You want to start us again with this one, your Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah, definitely. I'm excited about this game. We got Dak back finally. He's been out since week 1. Obviously not the best week 1 showing against a pretty good Tampa Bay defense, but he's definitely the better option over Cooper Rush, who did exactly what he needed to do while he was out. Had a 4-1 record. So we're sitting at 4-2 going into week 7. We got a good situation this week. We got the Lions -7. So I don't know. I think we definitely cover this spread here. We're definitely going to get the win. We got a lot going early. We're going to be able to score a lot. They're really not going to have a lot to be able to do on offense with like Michael Parsons and DeMarcus Lawrence and the pass rush and all they got going on that defensive side of the ball. So I think we definitely cover this spread. I like Dallas -7 a lot, but that could be a very biased pick also. So
Definitely sounds biased to me. Did you say Dak Prescott's playing or not?
yeah, he's back.
Yeah, that's so scary though. I mean,
Dude, they're
I'm
gonna roll
very
with
excited
him.
to see him. I'm so excited to watch that offense with Prescott and now healthy Gallup with Lamb. I think Gallup's going to start eating too. Look for him to start popping off. 7 points is a lot though. This is a feisty Detroit team. I mean, you really have to check the injury report for this one. You got to see what they're saying about Dak, how he's looking in practice. You got to look at DeAndre Swift and Amon-Ra St. Brown. They're difference makers, best players that Detroit has. Without them, they don't even stand a chance really. I think Jamal Williams was on the injury report too. So we know they give up a lot of points. It's just if they need Amon-Ra and DeAndre Swift. And even if they have them, I don't think it's enough to get it done against one of the top defenses in the league. But I do think there's going to be a lot of points here. I'm guessing the over-under isn't too high this week. Somebody have that total on hand real quick. But 49. Yeah, I'm leaning over there for sure. I can't take the points with the Lions just because Dak could pop off and that defense is scary. The way the Patriots with Bailey Zapp shut them out 29-0. I mean, come on. The Cowboys should be able to make some noise there. But, yeah, it's too big of points for either side, but I do like a lot of points from both teams this week.
I like that take. Like you said, a very injured Lions team. It's kind of tough to take them in this spot, but I don't know if I'll have a play on this game, like personally, if I'll be betting on this one. But I do like that over that you said with the 4. I have 48.5, but two high flying offenses. If Dak comes back and everything looks good, then obviously Dallas could put up northward of 30 points, and Detroit just has to play an average game. But I think this could be a get right game for Dallas's defense after a tough loss in primetime in Philly. They kind of got walked all over by the Philadelphia Eagles offense in that second quarter.
I wouldn't say that. It's some bad field position. They stopped them to a few field goals there.
The offense didn't help. I will say that.
The second quarter was weak, but they played that second half so strong on the other side, so it's tough to go.
My point is, I think they get back. I think they get back to. They get back to what we all know them as an elite defense in the NFL. I think they stumped Detroit. I really like Dallas -7 here.
I will say this though: if Amon-Ra St. Brown's full go after a bye week and sitting 2, I don't think Trayvon Diggs can cover him.
I think he can contain him. I think he's still going to get he's still gonna get his looks and he's still gonna
interception.
get his catches, but I think Trayvon can. I think he can do fine with containing him.
Yeah, I'd like to see that matchup. I know that DeAndre Swift will have a tough day of sledding, even if he is a full go. But I think they can break some big touchdowns. The Lions are a sneaky backdoor cover late in the game too. That's why 7 points is a lot for the Cowboys. We talked about that all year with the Lions.
You're definitely right there. This screams backdoor cover.
Yeah. I'm gonna stay away from the spread, but I do like 49 there. Maybe even look at. I think I'm definitely gonna look at the Dallas team total. So if it's a 49, they're probably sitting at maybe 26.5. Well, if they're favored by 7, probably it's 27.5. But I think they put up over 30 this week for sure. As long as Dak's healthy, I'm gonna monitor the Dak Prescott situation the whole week though for sure.
Yeah, stay tuned to the card. I doubt I'd take a pick on this game, but you never know.
Lots of good stuff to round off the start of our 1 o'clock slate. The next one up is the Indianapolis Colts at the Tennessee Titans. The Titans are favored at -2.5. Their money line sitting at -144 and the over-under at 42.5. The trends I got for this one are since 2012, the Titans are 3-7 against the spread and 2-8 straight up when hosting the Colts. Since 2018, quarterback Matt Ryan is 6-4 straight up as a divisional road underdog. Huff, you want to start us off on this one? A good game here, I think, between the Colts and Titans. Two teams that I don't love, but you never know. What do you think?
Yeah, like you said, 3-2 teams. I know the Colts have a tie. They're technically 3-2-1. Two teams battling out for the top of the AFC South. Obviously, we know the Jags have been the Jags throughout this season. Have picked up a couple of wins. But it's looking like the winner of this game is going to take the lead in the division and might not look back, in my opinion. And I like the Titans in this spot. I like them on their home field. I think this is a Derrick Henry. Just you see the real King Henry come out, and he's going to have a big game. I really like I liked what the Titans did last week, or 2 weeks ago. Were they on a bye last week? Was it last week they had a bye? Yeah, I think this team's been getting better. Obviously, coming off a bye, everyone's fresher. I know it's only week 7, but anytime you get a bye week and you come back at home, it's a huge thing, especially against a divisional rival. I really like the Titans here.
Yeah, I mean, 2.5 points at home in a divisional game. You love those home teams in divisional games, Huff. I know it's not a home dog, but still, I think you're riding with the home squad in a tight matchup, especially behind the King, Derrick Henry. You can't deny him. But I think the injuries at that receiving core, I mean, yeah, they have Robert Woods. He's been playing well, but behind him, they don't have much. The Colts have been playing good football, like not great football, but good enough to win. So what's crazy is it's an AFC South game, so it's not going to be entertaining. But at the same time, it's going to be a tight game, so you're going to want to pay attention to it. The Colts, this game's coming down to who's going to win the division. This is a big game in the yearly standings, right? I like the Colts. I think Jonathan Taylor, if he can get on the field, he got the week off, even though he was questionable. I think he has a big game, right? He's got to get right. We need to get right that game there. We're going to have a running back matchup for the century.
I have him as questionable.
Yeah, I think he plays this week, though. He had the questionable tag last week and was ultimately ruled out, I think Thursday or Friday. So I think with the extended period off, he should be good to go. Such a pivotal game. I think they were really resting him for this week, if I'm being honest. So I'm going to look at them, too, to get in the end zone. Maybe you do a same-game parlay right there with Henry and Taylor, because both of them might get in as they try and one-up each other. But I think there's a lot of value on the Colts' money line here. That's what I'm leaning for this play. Definitely check out the card. Important game for the AFC South. Not the high-scoring matchup we all love, but a very, very, very smartly played game. Mackie, what are you thinking here?
Yeah, I like your logic on this game. I think it's going to be more of a slower game, as we've seen a lot of AFC South matchups are. The only thing throwing me off on the Titans' money line here is that they beat them 2 weeks ago in Indianapolis. So, you see the same team twice in 3 weeks, and usually you don't win 2 of them. But I do really lean Titans here. I like them at home. I think they ended up winning this division as well, and I think this is a big statement game for them. I don't like how close the games are played together. That's the only thing throwing me off right now. As a coach of Indianapolis, it's easier for him to adjust to a team than for Tennessee to go out and do the same thing twice or beat a coach twice. So, I guess to give a pick, I'll lean Titans, but you probably won't see a pick for me in this game. I like the under as well, so Titans and under.
Love that under
I was
pick,
waiting
but
for you. I was waiting for you to say you like the under.
I love the under this
me.
week though. In that game, I mean it's a
You took it 2 weeks ago in this game.
Any divisional game though, it should be rolling under. Oh, this one didn't hit though, did it? When you took it? Yeah. I'm leaning Colts though. The Colts have beaten some good teams, and I think they like playing on the road more. I don't know.
Good stuff there, boys. Another 1 o'clock game we got is the New York Giants at the Jacksonville Jaguars. Jaguars are favored in this one at -3. Their money line is sitting at -154, and the over/under at 41.5. The trends I got for this one are the Jaguars have lost 18 consecutive games straight up versus the NFC dating back to 2018. They're 2-16 in those games. They are 2-16 against the spread in those games. Also, Giants quarterback Daniel Jones is 14-6 against the spread on the road.
So you said obviously Giants, Jags. We have a high-flying New York Giants team, a team that not a lot of people expected to be where they're at right now. What are they, 5-1?
Yeah.
So this 5-1 Giants team winning last week again against the Ravens. Coming into Jacksonville this week, and Jacksonville a -3-point favorite. That's just something, a 5-1 team, you don't usually see them getting 3 points going to an inferior opponent, in my opinion, in the Jaguars. But I don't know. This is a really tough game here. I do like the Jaguars in this spot. I might have to fade my Giants right now, but it's just I think the Jaguars come home and do their job and get the job done. But it's going to kill me to go against the Giants, so you're going to have to wait up until Sunday to see what I end up doing here. But I've been riding this Giants team like Mackey's been riding the Falcons, so it's hard to jump ship whenever they're just keep on winning.
Yeah, I don't know. This game screams trap game because why would you see a 2-4 team that's 3-point favorites over a 5-1 team ever? I mean, I know this is the Giants and not everyone's sold on them yet, but even so, Jacksonville is still Jacksonville. Like, this is just a weird situation for them to be in. We got a lot of money going on the Giants. We already got 65%, and the lines moved from +1 to +3. So everything tells you that you should take Jacksonville in this game, and I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm not going to actually bet it, but if I was to lean, I would go Jacksonville. I just haven't been on the Giants.
That's exactly how I feel.
I haven't been on the Giants all season, so I'm not going to bet against them when I haven't profited off of them.
Mackey, the worst 5-1 team of all time.
It is definitely the worst 5-1 team of all time, and I think they get their second loss this week. But you know what?
I agree with you. I like the Jaguars.
I think it's definitely the more expert pick here.
Yeah, I think that they have too much firepower for the Giants to keep up with. I say this every week, and the Giants keep proving.
I was going to say, you've said this every week, and the Giants have played some legit teams, the Packers, the Ravens.
I know.
Daniel Jones legitimately outplayed Lamar Jackson down the stretch in that game.
Lamar Jackson fumbled the game away, or whatever he did.
Okay, yeah, so I think Daniel Jones outplayed him down the stretch in that fourth quarter with the game on the line.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
Over
I
a
just
quarterback
think,
that's
I
looked
think
at as top 5 in the league. I don't know.
My thought on this game is, I keep going against them. Huff's right. I'm not gonna card this. I'm not gonna bet this. But I'm gonna give my take here because the Giants keep burning me. I can't go against them anymore. But my thoughts on this game is those Giants have been hyped up and they've been slept on. They've been playing big games and they've won them all. And now everybody's buying in. And this is an underrated Jaguars team that is buying into the hunt. They're low-key sleeping in that AFC South. They're at home with a really good coach, Super Bowl winning coach, underrated young defense with playmakers all around. They have enough firepower on offense to score. They're starting to click a little bit. They need a win to stay relevant. They're at home. I like them this week. I think Trevor Lawrence outduels Daniel Jones. But I'm not carding it.
Vegas.
Just because I've been back by the Giants.
Back to what you said, the public has bought in the Giants. Obviously, they see a 5-1 team that just keeps on covering, kind of same as the Falcons. But the Falcons, I thought last week was going to be a tough spot, but I really liked them in that spot against the 49ers. I think this week you're going to see a lot of people jump in late on the Giants, and you might be able to get the Jags at a -2.5. But you never know. So I do like Jacksonville. I think they come out and win this game. because back to what you said, the public, when the public buys teams, we all know what happens.
Vegas is sitting there setting the cheese on this Giants team. And one more week. Now everyone's bought in. They're snapping. Everyone's going to lose.
Yeah,
Yep.
I agree with you.
I think I'm jumping ship at the right time.
They're going to lose a game soon. Like, come on. Somebody has to beat them. They aren't good.
And what's funny is they're gonna go down. I mean, they're gonna be 5-2, but their 2 losses are gonna be to the Jaguars, and who else did they lose to? Cowboys, and they beat the Ravens, the Packers. Who else have they beaten?
Washington.
Like, they have some legit wins. Obviously not Washington, but
They beat
the
the
comeback win
Panthers.
against the Ravens.
Panthers.
Titans.
Titans,
Yeah, that's the other one. Not bad team. That could be 3 division winners.
Who'd
I
they
mean,
lose to
obviously,
again, though?
Dallas.
Cowboys and
Dallas is it right
Yeah,
now.
Trevor Lawrence is better than Cooper Rush, and that defense can play up to the potential of an elite defense. They're not an elite defense,
whoa.
but no. Hear me out. They can't. They have the skill to play up to that level, and eventually they could get there. They're not there right now. They're not the Cowboys, but they have enough playmakers where they could make some trouble for Daniel Jones. Is what I'm saying. They're not an elite defense like the Cowboys or Packers or Bucks or any of that they've seen, but they're an underrated one. I think they're gonna kind of sleep on this game, the Giants, a little bit.
they're a year away. I know what you mean. I'm not discounting what you say, but that team is a year away from being legit.
That's on the Jacksonville. That's on their flag outside the stadium. We're a year
Oh,
away.
fuck you,
Every year, that's their
Castellanos.
motto.
That's a lot of teams' mottos.
There's always next year.
But, like, I truly think this Giants team and this Jags team are both going to be really good for the coming years.
Yeah, Huff. That's why you got to be a Patriots or a New England, Boston, or a Pittsburgh fan. We're always in the hunt. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, Pittsburgh.
It's looking tough for
Both
us
your
this
teams
year,
looking
but
sick this year.
we're both playing backup quarterbacks right now.
Yeah, rookies. What's your record, Mackie, down in Dallas? Where the Cowboys at?
We're 4-2 with the backup quarterback. You're 3-3 with the backup quarterback.
Bailey Zappi's undefeated, dude. He's
Hey,
one
Cooper
game
Rush is
back.
4-1.
Don't let
You guys-
Bailey Zappi.
you guys
get hot.
also-
Don't
you
let him
guys-
get hot.
New England runs into a brick wall right now. They're gonna lose the next 4.
The Bruins. I love the Bruins. They're actually good, so I'm throwing my mind. But Ramondre Stevenson is a better running back than the two you have down there.
How
so
old is he?
Not
we have a
Tony
better
Pollard.
defense and a better running back.
That is such a biased thing. That is crazy. You just said that. Oh my god, you are so biased.
Well, Ezekiel Elliott's washed. I like the Cowboys
I think
too. I'm
Zeke
just
is
hating
better
on the
than
Cowboys here.
Stevenson, and so is Tony Pollard. I think both of our
Ace.
running backs are better than Stevenson. Are you crazy? And you
I-
think our
I-
what makes
I
your
don't
defense
think-
better than
I don't
ours?
think so.
What makes your defense better than ours?
Go look at the point per game, maybe.
Okay,
I wonder.
I probably can.
Probably pretty close.
Well, you guys put
Ace.
you guys shut out Detroit, so that's gonna help you a little. But
Ace,
And we have
how old is
a lot of
Ramondre
defensive touchdowns, a lot of interceptions, but we win games off of our defense. You do too, obviously, but similar teams without Dak Prescott, they're pretty similar teams.
yeah, they are pretty similar without Dak, but with Dak, I think we're talking a different story here.
Yeah, no, but also at the same time, I do think our running game and our run scheme and our O-line, just a better run game, I think, more productive at least. I know that Zeke is supposed to be great. I don't know if he ever gets there again. And Tony Pollard, I think he has so much talent, but his own coaches don't, so how are you supposed to tell me he's good?
He gets reps.
He gets less than...
He gets a lot of reps.
Not enough.
He gets at least
Not enough.
33%. He's out there a good
Yeah, but
amount.
not enough. They don't use their running backs enough at all. I think last game I watched the Cowboys and Zeke and Pollard had combined less than 3 targets. That's terrible.
Well, with Cooper Rush and you've been running the ball, it's a lot more of a controlled system. With Dak, you branch out a little. Dak likes to go
Inefficiently running. Besides last week, what has Zeke done for the season? Really, you know.
Yeah, I mean you're not wrong. He could still get hot though. I still think he has an edge over.
I agree.
Stevenson.
I'm a Zeke fan, but if you're just looking at the facts, like right now, he hasn't played well until last week. We'll get to that more in the Cowboys game, I'm sure.
Alrighty, and our next game up is the Cleveland Browns at the Baltimore Ravens. The Ravens favored in this matchup at -6. Their money line at -260, and the over/under at 45.5. The only trend I got for this one are Ravens are 6-15 against the spread in their last 21 games played in Week 7. Ace, you want to start us off on this one? What do you think?
Yeah, I think this is going to be a good game. Again, I mean, divisional game, 6 points is way too much. I've been on the Ravens a lot this year too. That was one of my Super Bowl picks. I still think they're one of the top teams in the league. Still think Lamar Jackson is him, even though he's a little bit scared of crunch time. But a lot of those mobile quarterbacks are. I think this team will start to turn around. What's been surprising to me the most is how poor this Ravens defense has played. They have so many names and even bolstered that secondary with draft picks and free agent signings and trades, and they still can't seem to get it done. They're a pass funnel defense. I mean, they give up yards like it's nothing, but Jacoby Brissett looked awful last week. I mean, I know he'll play better football. If they don't hand the ball to Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt the whole game, they're not going to win games. That defense is terrible. So I can see a lot of points on the board here. I think Lamar runs wild, has a good day through the air. Andrews gets in per usual. Nick Chubb will find the end zone after not doing it last week. He's going to run for over 100 again. Browns probably keep it close within 6, and it'll come down to that leg of Justin Tucker like it always does. Like the Ravens to win the game outright, not by 6 points. Like the over-under in points. I know it's a divisional game that plays slow, but two very poor defenses with guys who can score. Best running quarterback in the league, best running back in the league. So I like points in this game, and I like the Ravens to win on the money line, which isn't that nice, but maybe I throw it in a tease.
I'm going to go hot take of the week. Give me Browns money line in this game. I think the Ravens are kings at throwing away games. We've seen them lose games to bad teams. We've seen them in games where they shouldn't have been in where they shouldn't even have had a sweat, and they've ended up losing. Miami, basically. This team is just not confident at all, and they can't close out games down the stretch. I think the plus 6 points is free here. I think Cleveland definitely in a divisional game will keep this within a touchdown. I think they choked down the stretch once again. I think this team has very little to no confidence whatsoever, and I think Cleveland has a little more going for them right now. So give me Cleveland money line.
I do like your take with Cleveland. I was leaning with the plus the 6 points. My rule in divisional games: give the points, don't take them. And the Ravens haven't shown me they're deserving of a 6-point spread lately. But a lot of the injuries in this game, it's coming down to if the whole Browns defense is playing. Obviously, we know Chubb and Hunt is going to be doing their thing in the Cleveland backfield. I'm with you, Mackie. I will take the Browns plus 6. Ace, I know you said the same thing. You think it's going to come down to a Ravens money line or the foot of Tucker, but I like the Browns plus 6.
Yeah, great value there on the money line, Mac. You could come.
I do think the Ravens will win the game.
I agree with Huff. I mean, it's like my take with the Cowboys last week against the Eagles. The Eagles are a superior team, and they end up winning that game. But the Browns can linger around like the Cowboys did the other night in the divisional game, even on the road. You're getting good value there. You could even put a half a unit on that and still make over one full unit, probably, right? Is their money line's probably sitting at like what, plus 190?
Plus 215, and
215.
93% of the money is on Ravens money line.
Yeah, that's crazy. I mean, you can put a half a unit on that, and you're still making good value. So yeah, I don't mind your play there. I like a lot of points there. What are you guys thinking for a total there? You see a lot of touchdowns in this game. I think Chubb and Hunt both get in. Chubb runs wild, and I think Lamar has a day.
Yeah, the only thing that scares me about an over-under in this game is, like you said, how slow it could be played with the running backs in the running game. Yeah, it's just like that scares me. But obviously they have the star power and the skill to put up the points. So it just comes down to the kind of game that Brissett can play as a game manager if he can get them downfield, because we know the running backs are going to do their job. And like I said, a lot of injuries, a lot of questionable guys. So we record these, or we always talk about this on Wednesdays. So it's really hard to make some of these picks going into Sunday. So that's why we're always like, stay tuned to this, stay tuned to that. But it's because, really a lot of these guys are questionable, and they make these decisions Friday and Saturday before these games. So, but yeah, that's how I'm going to be leaning on this game.
Yeah, you know who else has been a kind of a wagon for those Browns? Jacoby Brissett's been lighting it up through the air with Amari Cooper, a little resurgence up in Cleveland, and David Njoku really having a big year so far. So look for them too, along with Donovan Peoples-Jones to eat against a weak Ravens secondary. That's why I like the points there too. Good enough players to break runs and get in the end zone. Jacoby's just got to cut down on those interceptions. Lamar cut down on the fumbles. Jacoby's cut down on your interceptions.
This is the kind of game, it can be played slow, but I think you get like one or two big plays that get you quick points.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. They're going to be explosive touchdowns to put up points. That'll be a good game to watch for sure.
Going to be a great game to watch, like you said, Ace. Excited for that one. The next one up is the Atlanta Falcons at the Cincinnati Bengals. The Bengals are favored in this one at -6.5 points. Their money line sitting at -270 and the over-under at 47.5. Got one trend for this game, and it is for the under. The under is 10-1 in the last 11 Bengals games, so going for 91% there. What do we think? Huff, want to start us off?
Yeah, so like you said, Falcons 6-0 against the spread. 54% of the money coming in on them this week at +6. This Bengals team, another team that hasn't really looked too hot. The spread opening up at -9.5. Does anyone know why that what happened there?
That's always like multiple weeks prior. It's never like don't even.
Okay. But yeah, obviously the -6. I don't know. I really like the Bengals here, but it's killing me. I can't bet against this Falcons team, and I might totally switch and go on the Falcons. This is a really hard week to call some of these, but 6 points, another kind of my same opinion with the Ravens. I think the Falcons might cover, but the Bengals might win the game, but it kind of goes against what you said with the underdogs money lines, but I've just been taking the plus points, and it's been working for me the past couple weeks, so tough game here. I'm looking to tease the Falcons up a little bit. This is a game where I just don't trust them at the 6 points. I'd like to get them around 10.5, maybe 13 even, and see what I can do with that. But I do think this could be a similar spot to what we said about the Giants, where their run has come to an end, and the Bengals could kind of blow them out here, -6. But I either want to tease up the Falcons or I just want to take the Bengals -6.
Yeah, Huff, that's almost my thought. I almost said that as you were saying it. It's like these are big spreads, and these teams love to cover. Browns and Falcons, heartbreak teams that cover but don't win. So maybe you do a teaser here, right? You go with the AFC North teaser, right? You go Bengals and Ravens, both to get back on track. If you looked at it, the Bengals have been playing their best football the last few weeks. Like, we all know that. Jamar Chase and Joe Burrow are really getting into their rhythm. Joe Mixon's been productive all year, and they have a lot of a good supporting cast and a good coach. I'd like them to win this game. 6 points is a lot, so you might see it in a teaser, especially with the way the Falcons have been covering games and playing scary. But in Cincinnati, we saw them beat a much better Dolphins team handedly. I know Tua got hurt that game, but I still think Teddy Bridgewater is close to on par with Mariota, even though he's been playing great football lately. I really like Joe Burrow to put up points here. I think Jamar Chase gets in the end zone. That might be one of my anytimes. The line's not looking too bad. I think they stay rolling. You'll see Jamar hitting the gritty in his hometown of Cincinnati with the Bengals.
I'm actually on the complete opposite side of both you guys. I think this is a good spot for the Falcons. I think they proved way more than the Bengals have this year. I don't really think the Bengals have been getting on track at all. I mean, I know they're started off the season 0-2. They're 3-3 now, but their wins are coming against pretty bad teams. I mean, you barely beat the Saints last week with how injured they are. The Dolphins without Tua, and then the Jets. So, I mean, that's 3 wins that aren't really that credible. You're running into a hot Falcons team. It's not even just that they're backdoor covering. They're winning games outright. They kind of dismantled the Niners last week. Marcus Mariota's 14 for 15. Almost a perfect passer rating. So, like, you got players like that are performing like that. And, sitting at a +6 and they're 3-3. Both teams are 3-3. I definitely like them here. I might even sprinkle the money line here again. I think they're still wagons, and I don't know. 6 points is definitely way too much for me.
I like how you keep rolling with them. That +6, it's a nice trend. Definitely can't take the Bengals -6 because of all that going on. But even their losses here, the Bengals have played great games. They've lost by a combined maybe like less than 10 points. I think Burrow has been playing great lately. They've been putting up big scores. They barely lost the Ravens a couple weeks ago, or else they would have 4 in a row.
They just look shaky.
If you've seen
they look really shaky. They don't look like they did last year in that playoff run. I feel like they're struggling to get first downs.
I agree. I mean, I think they've been getting more on track with that recently, though. And plus their big play capability, the Falcons won't have an answer for. And that defense isn't as deep as they just played the Saints in New Orleans with that big defense. I don't think the Falcons on the road are a tougher threat than that. So I think Joe Burrow can put up over 30 points again. I don't know if Marcus Mariota will be able to keep pace, but yeah, that +6 and their trends have been nice lately. So yeah, I'll be looking at some team stuff.
I like the Falcons in this one. The Bengals have not convinced me. Stay tuned to the cards on.
You had the Bengals last week.
I'm not saying I'm not for the Bengals, but I'm saying they haven't convinced me. I'm not not all about the Bengals.
I just want to make sure you knew that.
I know. All right, next game, Green Bay Packers at the Washington Commanders. Packers the favorite in this matchup, 4.5 points for them. Their money line sitting at -220, and the over/under sitting at 41.5. The trends I got for this one is the under is 16-3 in Washington's last 19 games played in October. The under is 7-1 in Washington's last 8 home games, and the Commanders are 7-2 straight up in their last 9 games at home against Green Bay. What do we think here, Mackie? Start us off.
Yeah, this is a tough game to look at because Washington being at home, I think this is a good spot for them to maybe steal a win here because this Green Bay team just hasn't convinced me anything this year. I know you still have Aaron Rodgers, one of the best quarterbacks of our time, one of the best quarterbacks in the league right now, in my opinion. Even though he's 3-3, he's still Aaron Rodgers. So, I mean, I wouldn't put my money on a Washington team over Aaron Rodgers in any really position, but for the sake of it, I think Washington covers this game. 5 points might be a little too much for them to be at home with a Packers team that really has no confidence. I feel like Aaron Rodgers has no confidence in his receivers. It's nothing really clicking on offense for them. They just really haven't had anything going for them recently. So I think giving them a 5-point lead to start a game is not profitable in my opinion. So for the sake of the podcast, I'm going to say Washington +5 covers this game.
I'm right there with you. I'm leaning Commanders, but that's for one reason, is we're going to get to see the Taylor Heineke show this week. Fresh look for this Commanders offense. No Carson Wentz this week for Washington, so
could be an upgrade.
We get to see that's what I mean. We get to see what Heineke can do with this team. I like them in this spot at home.
Yeah, this is a tough game without Carson Wentz. I also agree. Taylor Heineke is an upgrade. But at the same time, all he does is win football games. But at the same time, it's a tough defense to go up against after you haven't been clicking with your offense for a while. The running game doesn't surprise me much from Washington. I'm surprised Mac didn't say, I really like the under in this game a lot. I think they're two good defenses.
I wanted to say
Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers and that offense have been very underwhelming. And the better unit on both teams is the defensive side of the ball. You would think that the Commanders are going to play it close to the vest with Heineke and keep the ball on the ground. And when he does air it out, he's not going to be doing too much against a strong Packers secondary. So, yeah, I'm liking the under here. I'm not too sure who I like to win this game. I think I like the Packers to win this game. But at the same time, there's a lot of value on Heineke at home. And like I said before, he does find ways to win games. Give me the under here, though. This will be one of the more boring games on Sunday, I'll have to say.
Yeah, I agree. Definitely going to be a more boring game. That over-under set at 41.5. The trend's leaning towards the under as well. Good stuff there. Our final 1 o'clock game is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at the Carolina Panthers. Bucs the big favorite in this one, 10.5 points there. Moneyline -510. And the over-under sitting at 40.5. The trends I got are the Panthers have lost and failed to cover 17 of the last 20 since early last season. The Brady Bucs have won and covered big in their last 4 meetings versus Carolina. No win by fewer than 14 points, combined score of 150-63. A lot of stuff leaning there in the Bucs, but 10.5 points, a lot of points. Huff, what do you got?
Tough game. Obviously, we saw what the Bucs did last week, a 9-point favorite coming to Pittsburgh, losing outright. I did have the Steelers in that game off the card, obviously. Got to take my boys and ride with them. They've been losing me some money, but got to ride with them there. This game is tough, a 10.5 point spread for the Bucs. This is definitely a teaser territory for me. Get the Bucks down a little bit. I'd like them by like 4. Maybe put this with another one of the teams that I said, but I don't know if Carolina. I love them plus 10.5, but the Bucks just aren't deserving of a 10.5 point spread right now. But this could be a very easy get right spot for Brady and the Bucks.
Yeah, I only really have one play on this game, and it's going to be the under. A Brady-led Bucks team has been this year been pretty slow, and they have a lot of problems with going on right now. Obviously, losing outright to a Steelers team, pretty weak Steelers team this year, after being, what were they, 9-point favorites, something like that. So they have a lot of confidence issues right now. They don't have a lot of things clicking. I do think they will cover this game. I probably think this game will sit around 23-3. I don't think Carolina finds any offense whatsoever with P.J. Walker back there, and this Bucks defense is obviously pretty elite. So I think Carolina gets nothing going offensively. I think Tom Brady finds the end zone a few times, does what he needs to do. I think they will cover the spread, but my one play is under, 40.5. I think this game stays very low.
Yeah, I'd if I was looking at under here, I'd definitely lean more Panthers team total under. With all the chaos they have on that side of the ball, no true leader at quarterback, no true coach as leader. I don't know if you guys saw the altercations on the sidelines last week with Robbie Anderson. I know they shipped him off, but still, between coaches too, the wide receivers coach and the new interim head coach, just not a lot going right there. And the Bucks need a get-right game. And that team is so good, I'm going to say it again. I know they fumbled the bag last week against an inexperienced Steelers team, but the Steelers have a way better culture and head coach than the Panthers even dream of. Yeah, I really like the Bucks. 10.5 is a lot of points. I think they cover. If I bet this game, I'm taking the 0.5 point for the 10. So, I think worst case, I'll push. But I do think they score a lot. I'd be looking at Panthers team total under, though, definitely. I think there's too much firepower to hold them down. And after being reprimanded in the media all week, Brady being shown yelling at his teammates and saying he's not committed, maybe he actually starts getting back on track. For those of you that said Brady doesn't need Belichick, Belichick needs Brady, I think it's vice versa. They need each other because Brady has gone off on a tangent ever since he went down to Tampa Bay. I know he won that Super Bowl the first year, but Belichick kept him on the football regimen. His mind hasn't been in the game since he left New England, really. And without Gronkowski at tight end and no true tight end and losing Brait now, he doesn't have a security blanket. And Lenny Fournette, even though he's been playing the role the last 2 years, however long he's been there, he's not a true receiving back. And that's what Brady really feeds on, is a tight end and the receiving back. He likes to take what he can get. Now he just has to take shots, and he has the receiving core to do it. So it's just strange to see him struggling. I would bring that back to, like I said before, though, having no Belichick. Brady needs to focus on football. There's a lot going on in his life. I think he will this week. Bouncing back after a loss. We've seen it time in and time out throughout his career. Tom Brady bounces back after a loss. He doesn't like to lose football games. That much firepower on both sides of the ball. I'll take the Bucks minus 10. Don't know if I'm going to card it yet. I'm going to take it off card if I don't even card it. But I think they get right, and I'm looking at the Panthers team total under for sure.
I like that Panthers team total under. Maybe you're right on that because, this could be a game where the Bucks put up 40 alone.
The Bucks could also put up 13 with the way they've been playing, but I do think the defense will hold strong. It's one of the best units in the league.
Going to be an interesting matchup there in Carolina. The next one up we got is the Houston Texans at the Las Vegas Raiders, our first 4 o'clock matchup. The Raiders are our favorite here at minus 7 points. Their money line sitting at minus 310 and the over-under at 45.5. No trends from me in this one, but Mackie, get us rolling here.
Yeah, this is a weird game. Not two teams that you see play each other a lot. We got a team that's been underachieving this year in the Raiders, who brought in Devontae Adams. They brought in a new coach, I think, as well, or something like that, maybe an offensive coordinator or something. But 1-4, sitting at the bottom of the AFC West, so they're not who they wanted to be this year. But they're not out of it yet. So this is a game where they can get a nice win, get back get a win under their feet, and get back on their feet to a 4-2 record, which is definitely able to come back from. Especially with the roster that they have. So 7 points might be a little too much, but you're sitting at home in this game against a pretty bad Texans team that I think they should take advantage of and win this game.
I've been high on the Texans all year. That's scary. I mean, the Texans are coming off of a bye too. Are they both Or no, the Texans aren't coming off a bye.
No, the Texans lost
Are they?
to Jacksonville last week. Oh wait, no, they didn't.
Okay.
The
Jacksonville,
Raiders are coming off a bye.
No,
Yeah.
they're both coming off of a bye. They're both coming off of a bye. I knew that. Yeah. So both teams coming out of a bye, so they're gonna be healthy and looking ready to go. I'm gonna lean with the experience and the home team in the Raiders here, but there is value on the Texans. Again, they like to keep teams close, but I don't think it's this week. I think the Raiders are gonna start getting back on track. I was high on them before the year started, and with that much talent, you really can't hold them down too long. I think the edge pressure from Jones and Crosby that you've seen all year long. Crosby's been a beast. Davis Mills hasn't been doing much. He hasn't really used his receivers, and they rely on the ground game, and that's the one thing that the Raiders can really lock down a little bit with that front seven. But, yeah, I like the Raiders here. Hate to say it. Normally I'm high on the Texans, but I do like Dameon Pierce to find the end zone. That guy's a bona fide stud. Been saying it all year. Rookie of the Year candidate. Yeah, I like him to have a good game, but I do like the Raiders and the points here, actually. Surprisingly, in a big spread, I do like them.
I'm gonna take your team going the other way. I like the Texans here.
Great value,
I think they go into Vegas. I don't know if they win the game outright, but I like them +7 here. For every reason you said, I think Dameon Pierce is a really good player. I think Davis Mills has a statement game here, and the Raiders haven't proven me anything. So, a lot of stuff going on off the field. Devontae Adams is going to play in this game despite all the stuff with what happened in that game against the Chiefs. But I don't know. I just don't think this Raiders team is going to get back this week. I think this is a very hungry Texans team that I don't really have to say too much. We've all been kind of harping on this team. Ace, you definitely what we think this Texans team is capable of in the future, not necessarily this season, but I like the Texans here +7.
I think that Devontae Adams gets in the end zone and has a big game this week, honestly.
This Texans team reminds me of that Lions team last year. They just have a lot of fight and they have a lot of willpower, but they just don't have the talent to get there.
No, they don't. And this is a tough matchup, especially if Waller's a go. I mean, Josh Jacobs is having a career year, contract year, makes sense, right? Everybody does that. Wants to get the bag. So
Except Lamar, he just keeps losing.
Yeah, I mean, his price tag doesn't change. It's going to be high either way with that age. But Josh Jacobs, I mean, running back market is thin. As you hit a certain age, people tend to stop giving you those dollars. And he's showing why he deserves it. He's been going off. And then you have Renfro, you have Adams, you have Waller, you have Carr. It's a lot of weapons they have. And they have playmakers on the defensive side of the ball. I think those are just too big of men for the young Texans to contain. I think that they put up a good amount of points this week. Watch Derek Carr have a big game this week. He's got to throw 2. Jacobs finds 1. And they kick a field goal or 2 with one of the best kickers in the league, in Daniel Carlson. So, yeah, I don't see that many points coming off the Texans scoreboard. And Josh McDaniels coming out of the bye, he's got to start stringing stuff together, right? And this is one of the ones he circles on his schedule as we need this game. So I think they'll be ready to go. I like the Raiders -7 here.
Another interesting matchup there in the 4 o'clock slate. Let's move forward to the New York Jets at the Denver Broncos. Mackey's Jets and Russ about to cook it up with the Broncos favored it at -1. The money line at -116 and the over-under at a low 38.5. The trends I got for this one are the Jets are 4-0 against the spread both in their last 4 in October and on grass. The Jets are also 4-1 against the spread when playing on 6 days of rest or less. Lots of good stuff. What do we think? Huff, you want to start us?
Broncos kill him in this game. I like the Broncos.
Yeah. Is that all you have to say? That seems like
yeah. I think this is the get right game for this Broncos team. They showed signs in that first half of the offense. This Jets team, I've been high on them all year. Again, Mackey, same thing. I think the public has bought in this Jets team, and a lot of people are jumping on the wagon right here. That's why we're seeing a big line movement. Not necessarily like you said from that, but getting them at -102 against this Denver team, I know they're not performing up to standards, and people are jumping ship from Denver and jumping on the Jets. So I'm going to stay with my boy Russ, and let's ride Denver money line.
Yeah, this is just a crazy, a weird game to jump into because, you know, you have a team in Denver that is obviously underachieving, and you have a team in New York that is overachieving, and they're coming together. And I don't think anybody or most people realize how hard it is to go into Denver and play in that Mile High City because of the atmosphere in there and how quick you lose your breath and everything. And it's real. It does affect you big time. And you have an inexperienced Jets team, a young Jets team that hasn't. Most of them are in their first, second, third year. So you're going into an environment where you're going to be uncomfortable in. And I think that Russ showed signs of old Russ last week, even though he all around didn't have a good game. He showed signs of what he could do, and I think he gets back on track this week in front of his home fans. I think they win this game.
Yeah, this Broncos team has been so underwhelming, but a -1 spread against the Jets team that's overperforming. Wait, is Russ playing or is it Ripien?
I didn't know Russ was out.
Well, he did say. I forgot he did say he has an injury. He's probably going to be
He has
listed as
he has a
questionable.
hamstring injury, and they said it could be potentially serious.
Oh, that's a
Let me
different
check
conversation if he's out.
Yeah, I'm only taking the Broncos if he's playing, but that's obviously presuming he's playing. He is listed as questionable.
Limited Wednesday. He'll play. Obviously, way off the 1 QB League fantasy radar right now.
This
yeah,
is a
that's-
get-right game. He has to play.
You go 2-5
game
here.
after. How many get-right games does he have?
Dude, I mean,
He hasn't had
it's
one
so
yet,
hard to go to a
so-
new team. Not many quarterbacks go to a new team and do what Stafford and Tom Brady
No,
did.
I know. I understand that, but he's been playing terribly. He isn't even looking like himself. His arm strength isn't there. His play extension isn't there. He's not using his legs as much and rolling out. It's just a recipe for disaster, and they don't have much on that offense side of the ball. I do like that tight end Dulcich that got his first career start and touchdown for Denver. I think I'm not touching this game. This is a weird game. It's a hot Jets team, and they win on the road, and they go in balls to the wall. Like they don't have any expectations. They're just playing football. I know Zach Wilson isn't playing great. This could be an under game. Has every Broncos game been an under almost this year? That's another thing I'd look at. They can't score points, but they can keep people off the board. A lot of field goals from both teams definitely this week. This will be one of the field goal games to look at. I know I didn't card one last week. Did take them off card and hit some. So might be actually adding those to one of my cards. I know I keep saying it, and I should do it, and I probably will. But yeah, I like the Broncos a little bit. I'm leaning that, but it's tough to bet against this Jets team at the moment.
The Broncos under is 5-1 there for you, Ace, this year.
Yeah, that's crazy. I love that. Love that stat. Like I said, Russ can't cook, and the defense can. So both teams' defense have been playing extremely well this season.
Going to be an interesting one there as well. And our next one up is the Seattle Seahawks at the Los Angeles Chargers. The Chargers is the favorite at 6.5 points. The money line at -280 and the over-under at 51.5. The only trend I got for this one is Seattle is 1-5 against the spread in its last 6 games played in October. So the Seahawks not doing well in October. But what do we think here? Huff, you want to get us going?
Yeah, an injured Chargers team. Obviously, we've been saying that week in and week out. But last week, Chargers. Who'd they play last week? I'm blanking.
Broncos. They won in overtime.
Yeah, they won in overtime. They did not cover Monday night. I did have the Broncos money line and the +4. Sadly on the money line, but good on the +4. But an injured Chargers team and pretty underwhelming if you ask me. They're getting the job done, but they're just not doing what everyone expected them to. I do like the Chargers in this spot. I don't know if I love the -6, but I'm leaning Chargers -6.
I'm leaning the over here. I love the over here. This is one of the games where I like it a lot. You've seen Geno Smith put up points every week for no reason. I know the Chargers defense has names, but they can't really contain many people. The Russ game is an exception. I think Justin Herbert's playing well. He's probably a little bit more healed. I think they still have to keep feeding Austin Eckler. He's one of the top running backs in the league. He doesn't get the ball as much as he should. Produces every time he gets it. I hit on that. That was my only play on Monday Night Football is Austin Eckler touchdown. Probably going to take that again. Guy just has a nose for the end zone. He can get it through the air and on the ground. I like the Chargers here to put up a lot of points. Going to take the over. -6 is a lot against Geno Smith because he loves those backdoor covers, and sometimes he comes out and wins the game. But maybe I'll tease the Chargers here, and maybe I'll tease with the Chargers in the over. Honestly, look at the Eckler TD too, though. I think the Chargers can step it up. They're a good team. They have what it takes to put down this hot Seahawks team.
Yeah, I'm with you on the over in this one. I think it's two offenses that we've seen can score the ball, and week in and week out, we've seen Geno Smith is just he's not going anywhere. He's doing it's no fluke. He's doing what he's doing, and he's getting the ball in the end zone. And this is a Chargers team that can also get the ball in the end zone. It's too Seahawks defense is obviously weaker than the Chargers, but I think they'll be able to get their points as well. So I like the over in this game. I'm gonna stay away from the spread. This Chargers team, they don't really impress me. They're not doing what they should be doing to these teams. I mean, they squeaked by against a pretty shitty Broncos team. You squeaked by against a Browns team without Deshaun Watson, and you get a win against the Texans the week before that. So they're 3-0 in their last three, but nothing really impressive. That's like showed me that the Chargers are who we thought they were supposed to be. So I'm gonna stay away from the points here. I think they can win this game outright, but I like the over if I'm gonna take anything on this.
We've heard get right games. I agree with all your takes, Mackie. We agree with get right games, or we've all taken one. This will be the one I take this week. This is the get right game for the Chargers. I think at home, too much firepower. Like you said, they're not really playing their best football. It seems like they have a lot more in the tank. They're not really unleashing it for some reason. I think that they can pop off a lot more in offense. They're not really the play calling hasn't been great. I know they have that young head coach, so he'll probably turn it around. Back in SoFi, back at home. I think Justin Herbert's ready, and Eckler will have maybe a multi-touchdown game again. I'm really high on him. I'm curious though, how many wins, just off the top of your head, don't think too much on this, how many wins do you guys think the Chargers finish with this year?
11.
What's their record?
They're 4-2.
Yeah, I was thinking that too, Mackie.
11-6.
Yeah, I was agreeing with that. So I think this is a game they win then.
I had them winning 13 games before the season started.
That numbers in my head was 11.5 was there. I was like, do I go over or under that? Like, if that was the over-under right now, which it very well could be.
I'd go under, 100%.
I think they squeak out 11 or 12, so I'd probably go under 2.
I think they have a better chance of winning 10 than 12.
Mm-hmm. Hard division.
With that division, yeah, you're right. But like I said, so I do think they get the job done this week. But yeah, Mac, I'm with you. 6 points is too much. That could be another teaser team. You get them down to +1. That's a nice spot to have them. I don't think they lose to Geno Smith at home, but I think Geno Smith can keep it up. So give me the Chargers and the over there. And Austin Eckler touchdown. Don't forget that.
Some of the boys on the over for that one. Good stuff there. Let's jump into our last 4 o'clock matchup, the Kansas City Chiefs at the San Francisco 49ers. The Chiefs are the favorite here at -3. Their money line sitting at -156. The 49ers money line at +132, and the over-under at 48.5. Good bit of trends for this one. Jimmy G is 14-6 straight up and 16-4 against the spread as an underdog in his career. That is the best winning percentage by any quarterback as an underdog in the Super Bowl era, including the playoffs. San Francisco has covered 6 straight home games. Jimmy G is 3-0 straight up and against the spread as a home underdog. And Patrick Mahomes is 11-3 straight up following a loss. What do we think is going to happen here?
Let me give the money splits real quick, just because it's so drastic.
Go for it.
Kansas City -2.5, 83% of the money is on that, and Kansas City money line -145. You have 92% of the money on it. So we already know who the public loves. I think we could have predicted that anyway, but that's just something to think about, definitely. So you can get into it now.
I don't have to think about it any more than that.
Yeah, I mean that's already.
When does the public not love Patrick Mahomes though? Really?
The only thing is I can't see them losing back-to-back games.
Me neither.
At home in oh no, they're not at home.
No,
they're in Levi Stadium.
And Niners are elite in Levi Stadium.
Yeah, I agree. It's gonna be. I love that Niners defense. Shout out my buddy Beak. He was on our podcast a few weeks ago. He had some really good picks too. Actually ended with a good record. His take on this game was a revenge game for the Chiefs from that Super Bowl that they owed him for a while ago. I'm like, that's a little bit far out, but I understand your thinking there. Two not really rivals, but they have some bad blood towards each other. Mackie told you last week with that 3-unit play on Travis Kelce, obviously not on a card, but off the book, I like that too. So I think he gets back and gets in the end zone this week. I'm eager to see if you double down and throw that on your card. You think Kelce goes 2 weeks without a tutty?
I don't know if I could throw it on my card after that heartbreaker, but I might take it off the card.
Yeah, it's a tough matchup to think about though. That Niners defense is just loaded, especially with middle of the field talent, especially the elite middle linebacker Fred Warner. I think Nick Bosa is still out though, so that's something to look at. They have a bunch of other names on defense, so I'm not too worried there. But you know what Patrick Mahomes does? It's the best duo in the NFL, Mahomes and Kelsey. This will be a great game to watch. I think this is probably America's game of the week. This could be the hit the books game of the week, maybe, honestly.
I would say so. This is probably the two best teams that are playing straight up 1-1.
Yeah, I like this, and it's such a big game for both teams. The Chiefs to fall to 4-3 would tighten up that division so much, where they can take charge at 5-2, and the 49ers sitting at 500. It's crucial for them, especially with that division being so weary. Yeah, I'm eager to see. I think Jimmy G he shows glimpses of being good sometimes, and George Kittle came back to life last week. I don't know if you guys really noticed that. A little resurgence from him. So you'll get to see an elite tight end matchup. And Deebo Samuel hasn't found the end zone in a few weeks. I know we cashed big on our team play a few weeks ago with that. So I think they get back on track. I like the Niners money line at home here.
I like it.
Maybe you tease them up too. You get a lot of points. You go with your 425.
That's what I was just thinking about. Give me like
425 teaser. Your 425 teaser. You got Chargers +1 and you got Niners +10.
Yeah.
It's kind of crazy.
You throw another leg in there, you can get them both at you can get the Chargers at +3.5.
Yeah, that's craziness. What with the +10?
Well, that would go to +13 because the more legs you add, the more points you get.
Oh, yeah. All right, my book's different. Rhode Island isn't as blessed as you guys with
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying.
So
I think the most I can get is 10. Yeah, I do like teasing the Niners up. I'll also be taking a money line. I like that. It's tough though, because I always say I hate betting against Patrick Mahomes, and it's tough to watch. But this will be a great game. Hit the books game of the week. I'm leaning Niners. Watch my pick change by Sunday. Watch my pick change. It could. I'm not putting anything on the card as of right now, but right at this moment, I am leaning on the San Francisco 49ers. I don't know about you guys. What do you got for the hit the books game of the week?
I like the 49ers.
Right now, I like the Niners, but this is definitely a game that I could switch sides on at the last second or last day or whatever.
I like the 49ers with the points here. Maybe 3.5.
In them, or you like the Niners at home?
With these trends, I'm definitely on the Niners. I don't think you can go against it, especially giving them, 3 points. That's, I think, just enough.
I like what you said about Deebo. I'm definitely looking at that.
Yeah, I think that Jimmy G actually has a good game this week. You don't see him in many shootouts, but you could see some points flying for him. That Chiefs defense is not something to be scared of.
think this could be very similar to last week, another very low-scoring game.
You think? I could see. Let me think in my head. Who gets in the end zone here? So we got 2 there.
The 49ers over-under record is 5-1 in favor of the under.
I'd take Deebo and maybe
this could be an
Jeff
overtime
Wilson
game
touchdown.
too. This could be an overtime game. I was thinking in my head. I was saying rushing touchdown, which could even be used check. That's why I'm scared for Wilson. I like Kittle to finally find the end zone in a big game against Kelsey. I like Deebo too. That's 3 touchdowns. They had a pair of field goals. It's 27. I think Mahomes throws 3. They don't find any on the ground, and Butker gets at least 1. So 24-27 Niners. If it goes 27 up, goes to OT, and then it's anybody's game.
Yeah.
Whoever gets the ball first.
Good stuff. That is going to wrap up our 4 o'clock slate. Let's jump into some Sunday night football. The Pittsburgh Steelers at the Miami Dolphins. The Dolphins are favored in this one at -7. The money line sitting at -335 and the over-under sitting at 44.5. The trend I got for this one is since 2021, home favorites versus non-divisional opponents are 1-8 against the spread and 3-6 straight up on Sunday Night Football. What do we think here? Huff, start us off. The Pittsburgh Steelers here in Miami. What are the boys going to do? Trubisky, is he confirmed? Since Pickett is...
Pickett. If Pickett's ready to go, which it's all looking like he's going to be, it's going to be Pickett, and it's going to be all Steelers +7. I like the Steelers to win this game outright. I know this is Tua's first game back, and a lot of people are looking at Miami as maybe they've struggled the past couple weeks, and they're looking for Miami to get back, and we all talk about get right. I think Miami's looking at this as a very big get right game, A lot of people are overlooking the Steelers team right now with no T.J. Watt winning last week against the Bucs at home. Trubisky came in through the touchdown. It's really just been Tomlin's team right now. Whoever's up, it's been a next man up mentality, and it's looking like Pickett's going to be the starter on Sunday Night Football, the rookie's first time in prime time. He had a lead on Tom Brady. I can't go against him right here against Miami. I know it's the lights are bright, Sunday Night Football. I know me and Jesse might be the only ones taking this, but I like the Steelers +7.
What do you other boys think? I'm curious.
I'm not. I honestly would feel more confident in the Steelers team starting Mitch Trubisky this week. I think Kenny Pickett's the better quarterback, but in a Sunday night primetime game against a team with its starting quarterback back in the mix, we know that Tua Tagovailoa can put up points with those speedsters. If your cornerbacks and especially Minka are out again, I know that the Brady Bucks.
Minka's playing.
Yeah, that's big, but still, the corners are another thing to look at. Even if they play, I know you guys don't have any stud corners. Those are two tough wide receivers to contain.
Sutton's good.
Yeah, but not good enough to contain Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle. I think that with their boy Tua
no top tier elite corner. No, I know what you mean.
Yeah, and Mike McDaniel's at the helm. He's gonna force feed them the ball. I like the Dolphins here. You said it was 7 points. The spread, though, that's a lot of points. I mean, I know they're at home though. A lot of teams don't fare well, especially from the up north going down to South Florida. It's a whole different atmosphere, whole different play style, whole different type of game. I like the Dolphins in this spot. I probably like the Tyreek Hill and the Tyreek Hill props again. Now that Tua's back in the mix, you know that Tyreek sees 10, 15 targets a week, and he can break any single one of them for a touchdown. I'm on the Dolphins here. 7 points is a lot, though. Maybe I'll be looking at the first half spread, honestly. Team total over.
This is definitely I don't know. Is Tua back?
Yeah.
So Tua's back. You got Miami in a primetime game for
you have. Let me say this before you have your take there, Mackie. Just in case something were to go wrong with Tua, we saw last week that Teddy Bridgewater is fully healthy and ready to go in the background.
Yeah, I like your first half spread take there, Ace. I think Miami get off to a strong start. I don't like 7 points in a full game. I think there's just too much chance for trial or for error, and I think Pittsburgh can backdoor cover this maybe, but I think Miami wins this game. I also like the under. I think they'll be a little slower with Tua as it's his first game back. They're not going to be going. Actually, I don't know. It's only a concussion.
And Mike McDaniels loves to throw the ball. They don't have a true running game with Raheem Mostert and Chase Edmonds.
Maybe I'm not on the under anymore. I don't know. More time to think about it. I got a few days, but I definitely like Miami to win this game outright. I don't really have a play on the spread. If anything, I have Miami first half probably -4. I just assume it's sitting at.
What's crazy is my play is probably going to be this. I don't know if I'll card this exactly, but a Patriots-Dolphins moneyline parlay is looking very nice to me.
The AFC least, really?
The AFC least. I mean, they've been winning games. Look at those records. We have 4-2, 5-1, 3-3.
I'm kidding. Don't get your panties in a bunch.
Oh yeah, no.
What's your record?
The two Easts, the two NFC East.
They're
AFC
running
East,
it.
both,
they're running it. Two best divisions
in
football.
Than everybody expected. Who would have thought? But yeah, they both have a lot of under the radar teams that play the football game the right way. You know.
The AFC North's the underwhelming one.
The AFC West is very underwhelming.
Yeah, well, I mean.
And the NFC West.
Yeah, both of them were. Those are supposed to be the best divisions of football.
AFC and the West divisions are definitely supposed to be the best.
It's looking like it moved out east this year to the NFC Beast.
Yeah.
A lot of good teams out there. But yeah, like I said, I wonder if you can get what you can get for odds for Patriots over the Bears and Dolphins over the Steelers in the prime time. I like both of those teams to win, but they both have high spreads, so it's a little something to think about.
Huff, what did you say about this game? Sorry, I wasn't listening.
I like Steelers +7. I think they could win the game outright, but I'm going to take the points.
Are either of you throwing on the Steelers money line? You didn't last week, and you should have.
I just took them +9. I just take the points every week.
Yeah.
What a Steelers fan.
Yeah.
No, I don't mean like whatever it is. Like I mean like it really takes a lot for me to like bet an underdog money line.
I agree with you.
I just take the points. I just play it safe. They give you the points for a reason.
All right, let's hear this Ace take on this Monday Night Football Patriots game. Patriots
Jesse, what do we
alternate
got for
spread
Monday Night
minus
Football?
18.5.
Let Jesse introduce it.
Yes, let's jump into this Monday Night Football game. The Chicago Bears at the New England Patriots. Aces New England Patriots are the favorite here, minus 7.5. Their money line at minus 375, and the over-under sitting at 39.5. The trends I got for this one are home teams on Monday Night Football are 25-14-1 against the spread versus an out-of-conference opponent since 2012. And since 2020, Bill Belichick is 5-1 against the spread as a home favorite of 7 or more points. Lots of good stuff there for the Patriots. What do we think here, Ace? That little parlay that you were cooking up, the Patriots and the Dolphins together, money lines, two-leg parlay sitting at minus 156 on FanDuel. What do you got, Ace? Start us off.
I love that. I love that parlay. Definitely might see that on my card. Just to have some skin in both games. Like I said before, though, Mackey getting crazy with the Patriots 18.5. I don't think I've ever put the Patriots on my card, and I don't think I've ever been uber confident in them at all year. I've actually said they're one of the weaker teams.
He gets so defensive about them.
Especially with his name Bailey Zapp. Like, I didn't know his name was Bailey until last week. I thought it was Billy Zapp. I was calling him that for the first 3 games that he
That's
played.
kind of funnier. That's what we're going to call him, Billy Zapp.
Billy Zapp. Yeah, my buddies text me all the time. Good old Billy Zapp, dude, undefeated when he's starting. But yeah, 7.5 points is a lot at home. Off the card, I'll take them minus 7 probably. But what I'm going to really look at is I've been saying this all week. I guess it's maybe my trend of the week. I like the team total under for the Bears here. Patriots defense at home in the prime time is a lot better than the Commanders, and they only put up 7 on the Commanders last week. I don't see how the Bears are going to get in the end zone. I like Ramondre to have a big day. He's been eating the last 2 weeks as a starter without Damian Harris. He's a 3-down back. Zappy or Jones, who's ever's in. I think the Patriots win this game. I think the Bears are one of the worst teams in the league. We've been saying it all year. We think they're going to be fighting for that number 1 pick. And we know how Bill Belichick shuts down young opposing QBs, especially those that like to scramble. So if we can shut down some of the other teams, I think we can definitely shut down a Bears offensive attack. So yeah, I'll take the Patriots money line in that parlay. I'll take a Ramondre Tutty, and I will take the Bears team total under. Probably Fields to throw a pick too, honestly. Could see that for sure. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I'm definitely on your side on this one. You know how I hate my Bears. And going up against it, as you said, a tough Patriots defense. I don't think Justin Fields is going to get much going at all. Bailey Zappi's looking like can do just as much, if not more, than Mac Jones. So this team really didn't lose much with Mac Jones, I don't think. Not even saying Mac Jones isn't that good. I think Mac Jones is a good quarterback, but Zappi's hasn't seemed to be a step down at all, in my opinion. So they got something good going on there. So this Patriots team is definitely just the far superior team in this game. And 8 points might be a little too much on this primetime game. It's definitely going to be a slower game. You're going to see both teams run the ball out the ass. We know the Bears don't pass the ball very often. So definitely Bill Belichick wins this game with the Patriots. I think they'll definitely come out on top. I'm not going to touch the points. I'll probably, you know me, I'll take the under though. So that's my play.
I will touch the points, but I like the other side of both of you guys. I like the Bears. I'll take the 8 points. I think Zappy might come back to earth this week after a high-flying couple starts to his NFL career. No discount to him. I've been wrong before, but I'm not saying this Bears team is world beaters, but I think this is kind of a trap game in a Monday Night Football. I really want, or obviously even like Patriots money line, but I'm seeing 80% of the money on the Patriots with the points here. I don't like it, but I'll take the Bears plus 8.
Yeah, I just don't think they have enough to get it done. I think that Patriots offensive line will control the game. They'll control the line of scrimmage on both sides of the ball. The good thing is, like you said, with Bailey Zapp coming back to earth, he doesn't have to do too much if you watch the games. We rely on the run, and it's really just been setting up a play action. He's been finding wide open receivers, been playing bad defenses. Granted, obviously he's no Mac Jones, but he's filled in. He had 309 and 2 touchdowns last week with no turnovers. They've been funneling the ball to tight ends and playing smart. So look for Ramondre and Hunter Henry to eat if Zappy is the QB this week. Huff, I have a question though. If Jones is confirmed starter this week, does that change your pick?
I'd have to see what happens with the spread because the spread would change.
Yeah, it might go up to 9.
Yeah, and I think I'd like the obviously if I like the Bears at 8, I think I like them at 9. You know what I mean?
With Jones at the helm though.
It's tough coming off an injury. Maybe I do.
The tough thing, yeah, I understand that thought too. The tough thing is though, a few weeks ago the Patriots shut out the Lions.
I don't like it at all. I don't like it at all.
Yeah,
I just think it's too many points Monday Night Football.
Yeah, you could honestly get a nice same game teaser there with like Bears in the under. Tease up that under and tease the Bears.
I also think similar to what I said about the Jets, I just think a lot of people are really high on Bailey Zappi right now. Billy Zapp, whatever we're calling him. I think too many people are high on him, and obviously you're a Patriots fan, so like all to you. If Pickett was doing the same thing, you know, I wouldn't be shutting the fuck up about it. And after he beats the Dolphins on Sunday night, we're gonna come in next week, and I'm gonna be talking exactly like Ace is about Billy Zapp. But we're gonna have a win. Ace, I don't know. I do like the Bears. I think the Patriots win the game. I just like the points.
I think even if Zappy doesn't have the best game, I think they could still cover the 8 points. I just don't see.
He could throw
Bears
for
getting
125
anything
and win.
Yeah, I think you're right about that. I think he does come back down to earth a little. I think he's had his honeymoon in the NFL, but I still think it's a coverable opportunity.
I like that term.
Do you think the Patriots get their defense gets in the end zone again? I mean, they've been doing it like 2 or 3 weeks in a row.
That's what I'm saying.
Their defense.
That's basically what I'm saying.
That defense is so strong.
Opportunity. So they can be given.
I was gonna say, you guys are lucky that you're not in New England listening to the radio right now. These people are giving takes saying that Bailey Zapp is the second coming of Tom Brady. He's better than Mac Jones.
I've heard it.
Billy Zapp.
He's not better than Billy. Billy's not better than Mac Jones. I'll tell you that. I can't wait until Mac Daddy comes back. If he played that game, we'd be 4-2 right now. If he was healthy, we would have beat those lowly Packers up in Lambeau. But he's definitely getting the job done, like Mackie said. He doesn't have to do much. How are the Bears going to do anything? They couldn't score against the Carson Wentz-led Commanders when they had the ball in plus territory all the time. I know Jesse was waiting on points last Thursday night, and Justin Fields had the ball inside the 5-yard line on 1st and goal and couldn't get in the end zone 3 separate times. I mean, what makes you think he's going to do that in Gillette against that Patriots defense? I really like the Patriots here. Mackie's talking me into the points now, too, and they shut down that number 1 scoring offense in the Lions, so they can do it to the Bears, too.
I'm with you on this one. I like the Patriots here. Maybe Bears team total under.
Feed Mondre. Yeah, I like that one a lot. That was like off rip my favorite pick, but feed Ramondre Stevenson. Him and Hunter Henry will get in the end zone. And Tyquan Thornton, X factor for the Patriots. I think he's going to jump onto the scene. If you don't have him in your fantasy leagues, go grab him and stash him. He's one of those speedsters that, I don't know if you guys saw his highlight last week on that end round. He just blew by everybody before they even shifted one way or the other. He's one of those next, he could open up that Patriots offense to another level.
Bears team total points sitting at 15.5.
Oh, I love that. I love that under. I don't think they scored 2 touchdowns. I don't know if they score 1. I thought it was going to be 13.5.
That Broncos 20.5.
Mac, you're muted.
That Broncos 20.5 last week. It was 10-0 in the first quarter. I thought I was done. Puts up 2 field goals after that.
You'll love to see it. Those team total bets are good against good defenses.
No, yeah, definitely. I like that bet actually a lot.
Alrighty, I think that is going to wrap up our analysis of Week 7 of the NFL. Lots of good stuff out of that, like usual. Keep an eye on the Instagram and the Twitter for our picks, like usual. What do you guys got? Anything else?
Yeah, that's going to do it for me. Thanks. See you guys next week.
Pay attention to the pick. That's about it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Definitely check out our socials. Like we said earlier in the cast, I know we went heavy on NFL. Per usual, that's our sport. But we have NHL picks coming, like Mackie said, 4 days out of the week usually. NHL in full swing, MLB playoffs in full swing. NFL, we've been here all year. NBA coming too. I mean, I meant to say this earlier, but NHL and
NBA. I got
a
couple NBA picks tonight. I don't know about you guys.
Terrible marketing by the NBA and NHL. I didn't even know that was the start of the regular season the other day for both leagues. So, yeah, I mean, I'm excited to get these picks and excited to see some good sports. The two best teams in Boston are rolling, so I'm happy. And the Patriots are looking alive, so we got two contenders in the Bruins and Celtics. Got the Patriots playing well. Got some good matchups this week, some good picks. The boys will all be positive after this one. Good week here on tap, so stay followed to our socials for all the big plays this week. That's all I got.
Heavy week. Stay tuned. Have a good week. See you next time. And that's going to do it for us this week on Hit the Books podcast. Thank you for all the support week in and week out. Please be sure to share and check out our various social media platforms and check out our website. All the info is located in our link tree in the description below. And always remember to hit the books.